Last week, British Army Chief Sir Patrick Sanders called for this country to develop a citizens' army, that we should think in terms of conscription in the event of a war with Russia. This suggestion was met by widespread and understandable incredulity. At the very least, it showed quite how deep was the gulf between those in authority and the public at large. But it also opened a window on so many of the wider, graver issues which face us and which we at the New Culture Forum continually highlight. We are aware, after all, of a younger generation who have virtually no sense of allegiance to Britain, a generation more solidly left-wing than at any time in the post-war years, one that simply doesn't understand the notion of fighting for king and country. We're also aware of the existence now in our country of great numbers of people who, as we have seen on the recent weekly demonstrations in London and around the country, not only have no connection to this country, but are actively hostile to it. But the response to Sir Patrick Sanders also revealed a great anger amongst those people like you and me, who would otherwise call themselves patriots. The message that came through from the feedback in countless comments and emails which I received at the New Culture Forum was simple. Why would we fight for a country that appears to actively despise us, that appears to despise itself, its history, and the very people who would make up the backbone of its fighting force? Well, why indeed, you might ask? British people have endured betrayal after betrayal in recent times. They have lived through the transformation of their country by mass immigration and the disaster of multiculturalism without once being consulted. When they have raised voices in opposition, they have been demonised or silenced. They see thousands of young men of military age entering the country and posing a serious security risk to this nation, overseen by an administration with no intention of seriously confronting it. They have seen serious political attempts to thwart the will of the people as expressed in the vote for Brexit. Their great institutions appear to uniformly work against them and their history. Their patriotism is treated with disdain and ridicule. Contempt for the working class, and the white working class in particular, has become a fact of our political culture. All of this is impossible to deny, and I do not seek to. But there was one trend that I've noticed more and more, and which I want to highlight here, one that alarms me. Patriotic people like you and me, are starting to proclaim their dislike of Britain. This dislike is based on the betrayals I've just outlined. It is based on a feeling of utter injustice, of being at odds with what is happening in our country on a daily basis. It is not difficult to understand. But my message here is simple. Hate your government, not your country. Be ashamed of your institutions, not your country. Despise your political and media establishment, not your country. Hold the elites in contempt, but not the people. Our country, its history and collective memory are part of us as individuals. For me at least, disliking your country is therefore the same as disliking yourself. It is not the country that betrays us. It is those who seek to rule us. This is a distinction which is profoundly important. It is one that is obviously being put to the test, but it is vital that we maintain it. Thank you.